What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about what Norwegians think about their monarchy. Today, I want to take a look at this very interesting Reddit discussion where somebody asked, why is the monarchy so popular in Norway? Is that true? For one thing, is the monarchy, is royalty in Norway very popular? Because here in America, like we Americans, we don't have royalty. We don't really understand royalty. A lot of Americans are very skeptical of royalty and are like, "Oh, that's such an old-fashioned thing. It doesn't make any sense anymore." But apparently Norwegians are pretty happy with royalty according to this. Like monarchy is popular in Norway. And this person said, based on this map, Norway is the country with the highest approval rating for the monarchy. I did not know that. Norway is the most approving of their monarchy of any country in the world. Over 80%. Over 80% of Norwegians approve of their monarchy. That's amazing. That's actually incredible. And also, Norway is one of the only countries where approval for the monarchy is going up. So, wow, I'm American. I don't understand royalty at all. Um, but the fact that Norwegians are very, very happy with their monarchy, and I know Norwegians have like their own government as well. It's not like the king runs Norway or anything. From what I understand, the royalty of Norway are more like representatives of Norway, and Norwegians seem very happy with that. Or Norwegians are very happy with the people who are currently royalty in Norway, which is great. That's fantastic. Now, of course, I understand royalty in Norway has no political power. Right, no political power. Royalty in Norway is just like traditional representatives of Norway. At this point, the king is more of a figurehead, um, but as a rootin' tootin' Yank, so like me, this person is American. I still don't like the idea that you can get a very important job on the basis of your bloodline. This is what most Americans would think about this. Most Americans are like, I don't know about monarchy. Like, you're just born into this powerful, high status, wealthy position of power, like just based on being born and nothing else. I think that's what most Americans are like, I don't know about that. But if you think about it, there's many, many things in life where people are born into different families and positions of power. It's not just royalty where that happens. And given that Norway is one of the most progressive and egalitarian countries in the world, it strikes me as strange that you would specifically be the most excited about having a monarchy. Right. And so Norway, that's very interesting. This person found a study where Norway was considered, out of all the countries in the world, the most excited to have a monarchy and really enjoy their monarchy. And I really want to know why that is. So I want to take a look at some of these comments that Norwegians have actually left these comments talking about this. So let's take a look at some of these. They say, because the current king hasn't messed up royalty. And if we are still going still going to need someone to do the representation job, he is as good as anyone. Probably better, as he's had a long experience with it. Oh, so this is specifically Norwegians are very happy with King Harald, the current king of Norway. Norwegians really love him, I think. I've seen some videos on him. I've done a couple reactions to King Harald, and he does seem like a fantastic guy. Super down to earth. Royalty in Norway is shockingly normal. Like, they act like normal people. I think that is why Norwegians like them so much, if you had like royalty and they act like jerks and are stuck up and privileged, the approval wouldn't be high. But Norwegians seem to be really okay with royalty right now, anyway. And especially the king, it seems. Man, King Harold is popular. Also, the crown prince seems pretty good for now. Oh, the crown prince as well. People like the crown prince. So it seems like for the foreseeable future, Norwegians are pretty happy with who is going to be in charge of Norwegian monarchy. I guess that's really what it boils down to. Do Norwegians like the idea of having royalty, of having a king and queen and crown prince? Do Norwegians like that? Or are Norwegians just happy because there's really good people in charge right now who are king and crown prince? There's a little bit of a distinction there. It's very interesting. Um, every time the king commits the most minor of mess ups, like dropping a glass or cutting himself shaving, he's messing up royalty. Pretty impressive not to mess up ever once. So the king of Norway, King Harold, like basically never messes up, basically never does anything to make people upset. That's very impressive. That's very difficult to do as well. Because I think when you're in that position, being king, a lot of people are judging you. And it's really nice to have someone who seems really down to earth and like aware of their position, like aware that they're in this privileged position and trying to do good. Yeah, I can see where Norwegians are happy about that. So why are Norwegians happy about the monarchy? Because unlike the stereotypical monarch, Harold is very humble and a wholesome guy. Norwegians have really, really nice things to say about Harold in particular, King Harold. I think most Norwegians are against monarchy in general, not our monarchs. Oh, this is what I was wondering about. If Norwegians really, if Harold wasn't the king, and it was some jerk, just someone terrible, Norwegians wouldn't want a monarchy, I would think. Like, no one, in this day and age, most people are like probably thinking, yeah, monarchies are a little dated. They're more symbolic. They don't really mean much. But, on the other hand, it is part of Norwegian history and Norwegian tradition. So it is kind of a nice thing that it still is around and still exists. It's still like a really cool thing but you still want, it's only cool if the people who are king and queen are good people. That's the thing. That's the thing. We have been lucky with our kings so far. And it seems likely our next king will also be a great one. Okay, this is starting to make a lot more sense to me. Like, if America had a king and you don't get to elect them, they're just chosen at random by being born into the royal family, I would be annoyed unless the king was a really great guy. If the king was a really great guy, I would just be happy for him, I guess. I'd be like, good. So I think that is how most Norwegians feel about this, right? That seems to be how Norwegians feel. Our first king, since we broke free of our evil overlords, demanded to be elected? The first king of Norway was elected? Is that true? He got 78.9% of the vote. Is this true? I had no idea about this Norwegian history. Was the first king of Norway elected? So it really was, like, chosen. But then that bloodline has carried on, like, to this day? What? To clarify, he did not demand to be elected to become king. Oh, he made it a condition for accepting the kingship of Norway that Norway vote on whether, in fact, it wanted any king. Wow! The first king of Norway let Norway vote on whether it wanted to have a monarchy, whether Norway wanted to have a king. And Norway said yes. We did, and most of us still do. Wow. Now this makes sense because the original poster of this question was saying Norway, out of all the countries in the world, out of all the countries in the world, Norway is happiest with their monarchy, happiest with their king. Norway has even had the chance to abolish royalty, and Norway has kept it. That's really cool. You know what? I've never heard about any country approaching royalty like this. Norway is just happy with its kings and its royalty and its crown prince. Norway is happy. So Norway is just like, cool. Yeah, this is a cool part of Norwegian history, Norwegian culture, and we're happy with it. So yeah, let's keep it going. As long as we have great people in charge. That makes a lot of sense to me. Like there's no yeah, if everyone's happy, yeah, why get rid of it? It's cool. He is so popular because he embodies security, continuity, traditions, and predictability. Man, there is so much praise for King Harold here. Norwegians must have a great respect for the king. He is a gallon's head all can stand behind, embodying our shared values, but without making it political. That's the key, isn't it? He's not a political figure. Harold isn't controversial or political. King Harold is just a great Norwegian and a great Norwegian representative. That's the purpose of the king, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand here, the king of Norway, royalty, Norwegian royalty, they represent Norway. And Norway is very happy with its royalty representatives. Very happy. Because they are good people and they represent Norwegians very well. I see. I see. Harold is our collective grandpa who expects and demands, but also gives. He has a royal sense of humor. The laugh after calling the queen a troll is brilliant. The king called the queen a troll. That is so great. I'm starting to understand now. I get it. Like, it's like Norway's grandpa. It's just a great guy, a great Norwegian. That's who you want to be king. So Norway is very, very lucky. That's the truth. Norway is very, very lucky. Norway has been like through luck. You know, Norway's had some great people born into the position of being king and next the crown prince. That's fantastic. That's awesome, actually. That's great. His son seems to take after him, and I think he will remain as popular as the king. That's amazing. That's great. In Sweden, you will see a steep improvement in these numbers when they have their queen Victoria. The present king has had quite a few blunders and mistakes, but he is not a bad king. Just not that great with words, nor geography. Okay. Huh. Let's keep going. I want to read a couple more comments. I'm really happy with how Norwegians left some really great insight here into what Norwegians think about their monarchy. This is really good stuff. The king is one of the most universally loved people in the country. And the alternative, voting in some old guy that 40% of us hate, almost the same price for the taxpayer, is worse. So the king is loved. And they're saying, like, the prime minister of Norway is not... The prime minister, who does have political power in Norway, a lot of power to lead the government, the prime minister isn't even as universally loved as the king. Although the prime minister is political, and that's going to divide people's opinions. But the funny thing is, the king of Norway is actually loved by everyone, which is really cool. Really, really cool. We are lucky that the king is a genuinely good guy who's pretty much universally loved by all of us. This is so wholesome. This is so cool. Like everybody commenting here, every Norwegian is like, I just love the king. The king is a good guy. Nothing bad to say about him. He's very down to earth and kind of everyone's third grandpa. From what I hear, his father was even more loved. More? The last king of Norway, before King Harald, was even more loved. So Norway is just special. Like, out of all the monarchies in the world, I have never heard about a monarchy that was so loved. Norway is special in that they seem to have been blessed with some of the best kings, some of the best people to be king. That's amazing. And the crown prince seems like a very decent guy as well. I'm sure will do a good job. Norwegians have a very high confidence in their royalty. Like there's not even a debate here. Nobody is debating this. No one has anything negative to say about Norwegian royalty. That's incredible. King Olav sometimes went around without security detail on the logic that he had 4 million bodyguards, the population. So everyone loved King Olav as well. He didn't even need security. He didn't even need security. That says something special about the Norwegian society, honestly. Oh my god, let's read a couple more here. King Harald, he calls the queen a troll. Oh, I love it. And he gets away with it. He's fun. He's funny. He's a funny guy we can all love. He goes around. I remember King Harold did a speech. That was the first time I ever saw King Harold on a video. Was hearing King Harold do one of his famous speeches about unity, Norwegian unity, and tolerance. And that was really great. That was really special, seeing him for the first time do that. He's actually a great speaker as well. And now I just am hearing that he's just the greatest guy ever. He goes around, he represents the country in a wholesome way, and his son is sailing up just to be like him, down to earth, aware of his responsibilities, and doesn't feel above his countrymen. That's key, isn't it? That's really key. Royalty, if they can show that they don't think they're better than you, I think that's a big problem in the rest of the world. Most kings and queens and princes in the rest of the world, they all think that they're better than you. Even though they were born by sheer luck into the position that they're in, they definitely come across as feeling like they're better, like they did something. And that's not how it is in Norway. Harald and other members of royalty, like, they understand they're just normal people who happen to be king and are just doing the best job that they can to represent Norway. It might as well be like you took an average regular Norwegian and just made them king. That's what Harald is like, and that's amazing. As the other poster has said, the alternative is to have someone most of the people didn't vote for, trying to get his way into some international office when he is done being president. No thanks, long live the king. Norwegians love the king. Norwegians are very happy with the king. That totally answers the question I had today. Why is the monarchy so popular in Norway? The answer is because the monarchs are really, really great people. The kings, and also like the last king, the crown prince, they're really, really great people, great Norwegians, great representatives. And yes, they were born into a privileged position of power, but they still just act like normal people and just do their best to act like they're the same as others. And that's fantastic. I get it. I totally get it. That is, Norwegians love their monarchy. And after reading all of this, I can see why. Norway has a very, very special monarchy. Probably the most special in the world. Norway is the number one country that loves their monarchy the most. And that is because they have the best one, I think. The one that is loved the most. I totally agree. I totally get it. I really, really enjoyed learning about this. This was really special to hear Norwegians talk about this so passionately. This was really great. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on what you think about Norwegian monarchy, what you think about Norwegian royalty and King Harold and the prince. That'd be amazing to hear about. I imagine it's going to be a lot of positive things about them, but feel free to give your honest opinion on all this though. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.